for them, it's also easier to control a situation when you don't feel anything about it.
Yeah.
Virgos are known to be control freaks. They love controlling shit. That's how they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Emotions are something that you can't control.
No.
And that really sets them off.
Yeah.
It's your girl Sarah.
And Maya.
And we're charmed and dangerous.
You know, because we be charming.
And we be dangerous.
And we be charming.
And we be dangerous. And we be charming. And we be dangerous. So, today we are back with a little Zodiac Standoff with 3 signs. And we're going to be talking about the sign that is the most emotionally detached. So we have Aquarius, we have Gemini, and we have Virgo. And I know y'all are thinking, wow, these signs really are emotionally detached in their own ways.
Yes.
So let's just talk about it. Okay, so before we get into each sign, I do want to say that I feel like all the signs here are known to be very intellectually intelligent.
Yes.
And this is no coincidence when it comes to them also being the most emotionally detached.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Definitely.
You want to start us off, Maya?
Yes. Okay, so let's start with Virgo. I feel like Virgos are obviously detached from their emotions because they are always trying to be practical and are always processing information. And for them, it's all in the details of why and how to fix it. So they will, because it makes sense, themselves and everybody else to death. And they forget how to ask like how you're feeling about it or how you're doing. And that's an important part of a conversation or when you're trying to interact or be emotional or connected with someone, you know?
Yeah. No, seriously.
And Virgo really struggles.
They do.
To do that.
They really do. I feel like, oh, Virgo. As a Scorpio, I've had many moments with Virgos where I'm like, don't you just want to fucking feel it?
And they're like,
And I know, like, sometimes, you know, water signs can trigger Virgos because they're like, ah, you're so not controlled. You know what I mean? Virgo is detached because they don't have time to deal with emotions. You know what I mean? They're too busy analyzing every detail of said emotion to actually feel it. And they know how to keep themselves busy. Virgo is the busy bee.
Yeah.
When you're busy and you're doing shit constantly and there's no breaks in your schedule, you don't really have time to feel.
Yeah.
They do it on purpose because emotions make them uncomfortable. And I feel like Virgo just sometimes feels as though emotions are a waste of time. And to accept them would only make you feel weak and incapable of getting the job done. We're still trying to figure out what the job is, but they're always on the job.
I'm screaming. When Virgos are in the zone like this, they are actually very emotionally detached from you and how you're feeling in the moment. And to them, they always just want to be approaching it from a logical perspective rather than emotional one. And logic isn't always very forgiving.
Yeah,
you know?
It's not. It's really not.
And that's, again, the struggle with Virgo and why people, I think, get frustrated when they're trying to share their emotions with them. And Virgo's just like, I got this wallet, you cannot. No.
Because, like, when you think about emotions, there's a lot of facets when it comes to your emotions.
Yeah.
People can feel so many different things. Logic is usually like this way or that way.
Right.
You know? And, like, Virgo is really good at getting to the nitty and gritty of both of those ways. But when emotions are all over the place, I feel like they really start freaking out because they're like, I don't know how to deal with all this.
It's messy.
This is not a two-way street no more.
Right.
Okay? You know what I mean? And I feel like for them, it's also easier to control a situation when you don't feel anything about it.
Yeah.
Virgos are known to be control freaks. They love controlling shit. That's how they feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Emotions are something that you can't control.
No.
And that really sets them off.
Yes. Yes. That's so true. I also have to say, you know, I have seen Virgos purposely detach emotionally to have this control over people. Yeah. You know what I mean? And and to avoid vulnerability. And it's really when I wrote it, it hurt me too. Because I was thinking about my Virgos and how they've done this to me as well. And it's just like, I need Virgos to stop doing this. because it robs you of fully experiencing your feelings as well.
Yeah.
You know, and expressing your emotions. And we want that from you, Virgo.
Yeah.
We need that from you.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Go crazy.
Say something!
I know. They
You
love
know?
using the silent treatment
Oh
to punish
my
people.
God.
I can't.
It's terrible.
Triggered. Okay, so next let's talk about Aquarius. I feel like Aquarius get a really big rep for being also emotionally detached.
Yes.
But they're detached from emotions because they look at everything from a bird's eye view. You know, being ruled by Uranus, they are the outlier, and you know, to feel things puts you in the same space as other humans, you know? And I feel like they're like, well, we're not the same. I don't feel things. You know what I mean? I'm different than you. You know? You know? And I feel like that's why they're so good at also being emotionally detached.
Yeah.
They're good at being a loner and like kind of just pulling themselves out of the situation. Because a lot of emotions happen also when you're around people and you're like, you know what, we're just kind of going at it.
Yeah.
And Aquarius kind of has like a keen sense of like, emotions are about to happen, I'm gonna dip out.
Yes.
You know? I'm gonna pull back.
They sure do. Yes, they sure do. And, you know, to me, Aquarius is obviously all about innovation and independence. And even though they are known to be a very friendly sign normally, Aquarius is always, to me, trying to prove a point and having a debate with someone.
Right.
And so because of that, Aquarius thinks they have to remain detached to be objective in the argument.
Right.
You know? And I think Aquarius also values people's like ideas and concepts over their emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
And you feel that when you're conversating with them.
No, it's true.
You know, like I don't know if you've ever tried to share your feelings with an Aquarius when they weren't in the space, but they look at you like you're kind of dumb and weak for having those emotions.
No, they do. They're,
you know, they're like, ooh, place that somewhere else.
they have a God complex.
Yes.
Like, I can't believe you're in that phase of your life where you still feel things.
Yeah! Like, you can't just remove yourself and see it from that bird's eye point of view like you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, no.
And you know, contrary to popular belief, Aquarius is quite sensitive. Very, very sensitive. But only chooses to, you know, share with 1.5 people that sensitivity. Like, they need to make sure that you never bring it up again and won't hold their emotions against them.
I feel seen. It's so
Your
true.
aqua rising's like, damn.
Like, oh, yes. No, it's so true. I feel like we also purposely detach from emotions as a way to protect ourselves and themselves from other people's reaction to their ideas sometimes, you know, or from being overwhelmed in the moment. Like, they are sensitive beings, you know, contrary to popular belief. And so when all of these feelings and emotions are coming, they do get overwhelmed by that.
Yeah.
You know, like, they are slow to process. We are slow to process. So you have to give them time.
Actually, I always say this. I'm like, you could learn from Aquarius in the sense that they give themselves the time to think about how they feel and what they feel. And sometimes when you're someone who's very fast-paced when it comes to expressing your emotions, you get annoyed with them. I know I do with my Aquarius moon boyfriend. And I've learned that it's not that he doesn't care when he's being quiet. He's taking his time processing the emotion. So it has nothing to do with the situation. That's just how they process.
Yeah.
And I feel like they also feel quite uncomfortable expressing their emotions with words, which is why they get the rep of being cold. And, you know, this is due to Saturn's influence as well. You know, they might use abstract language to describe their feelings. And if you know them well enough, you'll read in between the lines to really figure it out and understand them.
Yeah. No, that's so true. I love that.
Lots of symbolism. Put the story together. It wasn't me, it's a friend.
We're telling you the signs, okay? I feel like it's also important to say about all these signs why while yes, they can be very emotionally detached, they also have the capacity to be very empathetic and caring to the people that they love and respect. They just need a little bit more time to get there.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, last but certainly not least, Gemini. So obviously Geminis are known for their communication skills and curiosity. So you may be thinking like, why are they so detached from their emotions? But I have to say that communication and emotions don't always go hand in hand.
Oh, they absolutely,
you know, they can miss each other sometimes, like a high five.
Oh, totally. I feel like being you know, a Gemini moon. And for Gemini placements, being an air sign and being ruled by Mercury makes them constantly receive information. This, you know, affects their ability to feel feelings. Gemini feels something, and as soon as they feel something, they start to feel something else because of how fast it is for them to feel the stimuli around them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're easily distracted because so much is happening, and Mercury is moving at a very fast pace for Gemini.
Yeah.
So while that's happening, they don't even have a chance to process the last emotion or the one before that because they're already feeling something else.
Yeah.
You know, that makes you detached.
No, 100%.
You're not getting to the nitty-gritty of the emotion.
Yeah. No, you're flipping between both sides so often because you can genuinely comprehend both. So of course you have a hard time fully committing to the emotion or the situation because you're like, well, I see both sides.
Right.
You know, like Geminis are such big overthinkers and overanalyzers, and they will overanalyze the crap out of their emotions rather than simply experiencing them and feeling them. Like they're talking the crap out of those emotions.
Literally.
To the point they may forget what the feeling is.
I can confirm as the Gemini moon. Why do you think Gemini is the twins? You know what I mean? They're that duality. A lot of people call Gemini fake. It's not that they're fake. They really truly see both sides. Yeah. And when you see both sides, as soon as you feel something, the other twin is like, well, let's feel something else. How about that, apples? You know what I mean? Like, let's feel something else. Yeah. And I feel like it's just so easy for Gemini to jump from one feeling to another, which makes it quite easy for them to dismiss the magnitude of each emotion. You know, like at the end of the day, I can sit with my emotion and start to really analyze like why I'm feeling what I'm feeling, but if I can just distract myself with something else, what I was feeling is really not that important. Because if it was a really deep feeling, I wouldn't be distracted.
Interesting.
Clearly, it didn't matter that much. That's so funny.
That's so funny. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense with my Geminis in their life and how they rationalize it like that.
I so rationalize it like that all the time.
Yes. Like, so yeah, no, it's not a big deal.
It's really not that big of a deal. Yeah. If it was a big deal, I'd be crying about it. But now I'm watching this new documentary about a cult.
Right. Completely different emotions now.
No, seriously.
Another thing, Geminis I feel like detach emotionally as a defense mechanism because they are so like socially aware that sometimes they can be easily hurt by others, and like they're picking up on the body language and the social cues, and they're like, I'm just gonna like avoid that situation or avoid like getting into deep with them, you know? Or maybe they're also reading in the sense like, I can read your energy isn't safe, so I'm going to detach from you, even though you're trying to attach to me.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And like that's why they're also so good at like flings and like not getting too serious. Yeah. You know, it's like, oh, it's all just fun. You know what I mean? I can easily have this emotion with 10 other people. Yeah. And we don't have to get deep with one person. I can spread myself thin. Same thing with emotions. I don't have to feel one thing if I can just spread myself thin and feel little things about everything. You know? Ooh. I know, we reading y'all. You know, as we know, also Gemini is one of the wittiest and humorous signs of the zodiac. Like they're comedians. It's easy for them to make light of emotions and mask them with jokes. This helps them detach, you know, again, from the magnitude of said emotion. They don't have to worry about feelings when they're able to laugh at themselves. They also use comedy as a way to detach. Yeah. No, that's Let's laugh about it. It's not that painful. Yeah. It's funny. I'm crying. Yeah. Don't feel sorry for me. Laugh with me. Just laugh. Okay, so I know we have to pick. Yeah. So I'm gonna pick Gemini. Okay. I feel like Gemini is the most detached because they can easily distract themselves. When you're mutable air, you can distract yourself like nobody else. Whereas Virgo and Aquarius, if they do attach to one emotion, they'll feel that emotion and they'll analyze it. It's really easy for Gemini to just hop around.
I picked Virgo. I think Virgo is the most detached from their emotions because they struggle the most with being emotional and open with others. And I really feel like Virgos need to actively work on developing those social and emotional intelligence skills, aka reading the room. You know, like I feel like Geminis know how to read a room. Aquarius mostly knows how to read a room.
Yeah.
And to me, like I said before, like Aquarius is just really taking the time to process, like they're thinking about it. And I feel like Gemini is very aware of the emotion. I feel like sometimes Virgo really struggles to understand the emotion, especially with other people. So that's why I picked Virgo.
And there you have it, folks.
Yes. Comment down below with who you picking and who you think is the most detached from their emotions, okay? I'm dying to know what you think.
Yes, we would love to hear it.
Alright, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode. Like I said, make sure you comment down below. We're gonna link our socials somewhere around here. We love you so much. Have
We'll
a
see
great
you
rest
next
of your day.
time. Bye.